I'm going to cover the topic of a UHF aerial and bracket kit here. It's made up of three basic components: a 10-element wideband UHF contract aerial, and you'll see it's wideband because it's color coded, and a black tip always represents wideband. Okay, it's made up of a galvanized pole. It's a strong pole. It can handle either a dish or a series of aerials, much more powerful than an aluminium pole. And along with that, the final part of the kit is a lashing kit here and a bracket, and it's simply to go around a standard chimney, and it allows the aerial to be mounted outdoors. If you mount an aerial in an attic, you lose about 50% of the signal, so you have a much better chance of having good results having your aerial mounted outside. Okay, and in its simplest form, you can pull up this aerial, run it in, and run this connector directly into the back of the television, and that's a complete aerial system. And where it would be used is, for analog, you'd use it for all UHF only transmitters. So we'll say if we took Carnhill or Treelock or Claremont Cairn, which are all, let's say, in the North Leinster and Dublin region, they are all UHF only. Okay, you can see more details on the technical pages within our UHF, within the www.tvtrade.ie website. Now, as an alternative to this here, or also of course for digital, this is exactly the kit that's recommended for digital, because all digital broadcasts are in UHF only. So it's a very simple kit, and digital broadcasts generally in Ireland are very powerful. So fairly simple aerials, if correctly mounted and pointed correctly, will give very high results. In tests I've done for my own workshop on transmitters 80 kilometres away with an aerial similar to this, we've been able to get about 90% signal strength, which is more than enough to pull in a perfect picture. Now, alternatives to this aerial we could possibly use, the first one would be a colour-coded aerial like this. So the UHF band is broken into three basic sections. Group A, which is represented by the colour A. The medium UHF section would be Group B, which is yellow coded, and the top part is green, and it's called Group CD. So the advantage of using a colour coded aerial in certain circumstances is if you're certain of the transmission frequencies from a particular transmitter you're going to use. If you go for a colour coded, you can actually pull in better results than you will with this one. But the disadvantage is that if you get it wrong, where the black tipped wideband will always give relatively good results, the colour coded ones will only work well in their own bands, and outside that band will give very poor results. Now, a more expensive but yet an even surefire way of doing it would be to change out the aerial in this kit, keep the pole and the bracket, and use this, which is a grid aerial, which is once again wideband, but this is a high gain aerial. But the disadvantage is it's 3 to 4 times more expensive. Very effective and popular, but most installers will use it in limited circumstances, but not always. And we'll move on then to the next possibility. If you're using this type of a kit and you're finding that the results are quite poor, or the reception is you're a long way from the transmitter, you can actually amplify the signal that's been brought in. Now, this is very different than with a power unit and a mass and amplifier. Now, it's different than, let's say, a distribution system which actually boosts the signal that you've already brought in. This actually has the effect of actually amplifying the aerial. So if you put your hand on an amplified aerial, you'd mount the mass and amplifier about 1 metre below, and it would fill this aerial with static electricity, and it pulls in a far stronger signal. And this is a very effective way in poor reception areas to bring a picture from hazy to perfection. But in most cases you won't need this. But we have it linked off of this product, off the basic kit as a possible add-on. So where if you're aware you're in a poor reception area, it might be worthwhile purchasing these. But you can obviously, of course, do it at a later date. And the final part of the kit that you need, along with the pole, the aerial, and the bracket, which are all within the UHF and bracket kit, is an actual installation kit. And it's very simple what's here. This comes in both black and white, but we have 50 metres of satellite cable. We have a number of F connectors, F joiners, coax connectors, coax joiners, and also cable clips and cable ties. And this is simply to allow us to securely the cable in a secure manner. But that's it anyway. That's pretty well the overview of everything that's involved in the UHF aerial kit and possible variations too.